need to start drug testing in schools, okay? Because there's something in the mystery meat.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the newest episode of the Debate Mates. I'm Matthew, and I'm here as always with my co-host Stretch. I was going to call you my co-Stretch. So we're getting close to 100 subscribers. Let's open up there.
Okay.
So guys, keep sharing, keep liking. We'll do something big for 100 subscribers.
Okay.
I've got a couple ideas in mind.
Matt taking shots of hot sauce.
Potentially, we'll see. It's for 100 subscribers, we might have to do something a little bit bigger.
Okay.
But just make sure you keep sharing, keep liking,
keep subscribing.
Follow us on Instagram
there you go.
at the Debate Mates. Like our posts, we've been doing this OMG award thing every day. The Wi-Fi's been a little bad, so every once in a while we're not able to get it on. But for the most part, there's only been like 1 or 2 days that we've missed. So if you guys want to see who our player of the days are every day, make sure to follow us there.
Yep.
And to be the first people to know when we got new videos coming out, follow us on Instagram and turn notifications on YouTube. And enough with all of that. Let's get into the sadness that was the Celtics-Raptors game last night. We're going to Game 7, baby, as Zaza Pachulia would say. So the Raptors came down from 2-0, the OG Anunoby shot.
Yep.
Then they won Game 4 to tie it up.
Yep.
Celtics had a convincing win Game 5. Game 6, the Celtics looked like they were going to win for a while. The Raptors looked like they were going to win for a while. Finally, the Raptors did win. Going into Game 7, who you got?
Well, as you are our resident Lakers, Celtics guy. Okay, I'm the Lakers guy. You're the Celtics guy.
Yeah.
What happened?
All right. So Nick Nurse got me a little angry there.
Okay.
I understand that Jason Tatum should be paying more attention when he's making that pass in the corner. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I believe 2 minutes, something like that, left in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And at this point, obviously, it's a double overtime game, so it's really close, really intense. Heart's beating way too fast. And Nick Nurse is squatting in the corner. His toes are on the court. And I know Tatum still probably would have he could have made the same exact pass if he wasn't there.
Right.
But isn't that a tech? I thought coaches had a box they had to stay in.
Yeah.
And he was working that sideline like crazy, and then he found his spot in the corner. Tatum threw it right to him. And I'm not going to say, well, he thought it was a Celtics guy, because it's gray and green, a little bit of a difference. But
well, I mean, it can be like that sometimes, because in the heat of the moment, you know what I'm saying, and you just see a figure over here, and you assume that figure is your teammate, and you doing your thing, and you can't, like in an NBA game, like you really can't just turn and look at because the game's moving so fast.
Someone at the corner is going to intercept it.
Right, you have to go boom, 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 had to go real quick. So he threw it, and it was Nick Nurse.
And the worst part about the series is I really like the Raptors too. I have a great amount of respect for Kyle Lowry.
Right.
I think he's grossly underrated.
Okay.
And last night, he showed why. He made me look good when I said he was a top 11 player in the league. He took over.
He's pretty good.
When I was watching the game, I think it was about second half, he hit a couple of threes. And in my head, I was like, Kyle Lowry, he's not going to let them lose this game. But at the same time, I was like, is he really good enough to carry a team to a win to just say, I'm not going to lose? And he was.
And I'm going to tell you this as well. That something that, people are not really mentioning, championship pedigree means a lot.
Yeah.
When you're a defending champion, you don't want to lose. I feel like, we'll talk about the Bucks later, but that's something that they didn't have. Like, if you had that heart of a champion, like you've been there before, and you know what it feels like, you do not want to.
And they know if they lose, all of social media will be like, oh, Raptors can't do it without Kawhi, can't do it without Kawhi. He carried them to a championship.
They're motivated.
I was really scared as soon as Game 3 ended when Fred VanVleet said, we should be down 3-0, you guys effed up.
Yeah.
And now we're here, 3-3.
Yeah.
So I'm really nervous going into Game 7. I expect Kemba Walker to have a huge bounce back game.
He's out. Where is he?
I thought he was going to get going. He hit the nice step back over OG Anunoby late in the game. I think overtime or maybe.
Yeah, it was overtime. Yeah. That was his last bucket, but he had 5 points.
He only had 2 buckets.
He had 5 points, man.
Yeah.
What is going on with him?
And then Jaylen Brown is so hit or miss from 3. There are a lot of players when they get open looks, they shoot it and I'm like, oh, that's going in. Jaylen Brown, I never know.
Because he's a streaky shooter.
Yeah.
That's number 1. But number 2, he falls in love with the jump shot early in the game. And then late in the game, he's so young, he hasn't really comprehended that he puts so much energy out on defense that, your legs are gone.
Right.
Fourth quarter, overtime, so on and so forth. Like, your legs aren't there. So, he should really try to rely more on his driving ability or picking spots on defense.
Yeah. And I will say, as much as Kemba might be a defensive liability, it's not because of his effort or his intensity.
He's trying.
It's because he's too small for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry is not the tallest guy in the world.
He's strong, though.
But he is so strong.
He's really strong.
He can move anybody on the post, no matter who it is.
I agree.
But it's so hard when you've got someone that small. You can't hide him on defense because Van Fleet will attack, Lowry will attack, and you can't get him stuck on Anunoby, or you might be able to get him stuck on Siakam at this point. As much as we've been ridiculing him for how badly he's been playing, he did have 2 clutch shots, a couple fadeaways. He's too tall for Brown when he shoots a fadeaway.
Yeah.
But Tatum is not as talented a defender as Brown.
I agree.
So Brown gets stuck on him.
I agree.
One thing. The MVP, if they win this series, and if they had won last game, can we agree it would have been Marcus Smart?
Yeah, he had a triple-double last time.
That guy, as a Celtics fan, I love Marcus Smart to death.
He had a triple-double, yeah. I mean, you're starting to see, he was highly touted coming out of high school. He was extremely good in college.
Yeah.
So, we're now starting to see.
The only problem has been anger issues. Really.
Yeah, I mean, that's his only issue. He's an angry guy.
Yeah.
But he can play basketball, man. He can play basketball. But he's a little angry guy. Yeah, but he uses that to his advantage.
I would love to see him and Patrick Beverly match up in the finals.
Man. Well, first of all, that's not going to happen. But, it'll be a nice matchup to look at next year.
You're right. So who do you pick in Game 7? Are you going Celtics or are you going Raptors?
Well, Raps.
Can you elaborate a little bit more?
They have the momentum. Pascal isn't great. Nobody's great. They're just playing really, really hard right now.
Right.
And Kyle Lowry is the unquestioned leader of that team, and he's going to show up.
Is it fair to say he's been the best player of the series?
Between him and Tatum.
Okay.
Between him and Tatum, but when Lowry is playing good, they usually win.
Yeah, and he plays really well in these closeout games.
Absolutely. So I'm going Raps, championship pedigree.
I predicted the Raptors are going to win. I said they'd make it to the finals back when.
You cannot go against your C's, man.
But I don't want to go against my Celtics. I didn't have Jason Tatum going to the All-Star game, and that was the last time I'll betray Boston on the debate mate.
So what you gonna do?
I've got to pick them in Game 7. Every team, every away game,
right,
has been lost by. So the Raptors would have been Game 1, Game 2 in Toronto. They lost. It's been going like that the whole time.
Yeah.
So the Celtics have the arena in their favor. Maybe they'll feed off the Toronto virtual fans. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I'm betting on Kemba to have a good game.
Okay.
He's got to give me at least. I'll tell you, this is what we need for a Celtics win.
Okay.
Tatum, Brown, and Kemba have to give me at least 85 points together.
Ooh.
And they can do it. They averaged almost 70 points together during the regular season.
They can do it.
So I'm not asking too much just for them to raise their points 2 or 3 each.
Well, here's the thing. It's a Game 7. The defensive intensity is going to pick way up. If anybody scores 95, 100 points,
Attack Van Fleet is also what I was going to say, because he's a phenomenal defender, but he's too small. Put him in the pick and roll like they did to Kemba Walker.
Well, on the flip side, they're going to attack Kemba Walker the same way.
Yeah, but you can't take him out. If he keeps playing like he did last game, you might be able to.
Yeah. Who you put in there, though? Celtics basically play 6 people.
Yeah. Brad Wanamaker's been really solid off the bench. Grant Williams has been good, but he's still not better than Tice, although he's got the height.
Right.
Semi Ojeleye, I think, deserves more minutes. He's a tough defender, decent three-point shooter. He's kind of like a lesser OG Anunoby.
Okay.
And I could see him maybe getting a couple more minutes. Brad Stevens likes to mix up his lineups. But can we agree that whoever...
this ain't the time to mix up the lineups on Game 7, man.
But can we agree to looking forward to the conference finals and then eventually to the finals?
Yeah.
Whichever Eastern Conference team wins or goes to the finals, can we agree that coach is the best coach in the league? Because I think we all know it's between Spoelstra, Nurse, and Brad Stevens for the title.
Excuse me?
Who would you throw in there?
For Coach of the Year?
No, I'm just saying best coach.
Best coach, period?
Yeah. I think it's got to be between those 3 guys.
Well, I like Spo. Spo has longevity.
Yeah.
Like if he wins the title, it won't be this year. But if he wins another title, now you got to start considering him up there with the Popovich type of guys with the longevity, winning seasons, playoff appearances, and then he'll have 3 titles?
Yeah.
Did I give him 3? like that makes you the best, in today's NBA.
Right.
Because I think Popovich actually might retire. I don't think he's going,
But we already know he's not going to Brooklyn. They filled out their spot.
Which is crazy. I don't even want to talk. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Next, who are we talking about?
All right, so let's give just to make it a little bit spicier, final score prediction for Game 7.
I'm going to go.
And leading scorer.
Kyle Lowry's going to be the leading scorer. He's going to have 33 points. I'm going to go 97 to 93 Raps.
All right, and I'm taking Boston. I'll say 102 to 98.
Okay.
And I'll say Kemba gives us 27.
Wouldn't put money on Kemba right now, but you got it.
So I've got Celtics. He's got Raptors.
Yeah.
We'll see who ends up winning.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's the Celtics.
It'll be the Raptors.
Now let's move on to what I think is a much more fun conversation because we both like to look on the negative side when we talk basketball. I think.
Okay. All right. Positive.
So stretch.
Positive vibes.
What went wrong with the Bucks? Why did they lose 4-1 to the Heat? Is it because the Heat are just that?
This guy, 34, the freak, Giannis. This guy is what went wrong with the Bucks. Okay, and I wore shoes today
For that purpose.
For that purpose.
Wow, the commitment.
This guy
commitment
is
to
what
the bit.
went wrong.
I appreciate it.
Someone said I want to say it was Richard Jefferson said that he's a Pippen. He's a Pippen, and every playoffs season thus far, he's shown he needs another guy out there. There's no way. I mean, he's like showing us who he really is. He's a tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
Great basketball player. However, he needs an alpha dog with him.
I do want to ask you this question. If every team, 82 games of the regular season, played Giannis like they play him in the playoffs, would we consider him a top 10 player?
I don't think so.
Top 15?
Yeah, I give him top 15.
Because really, we commend him for all of his skills and stuff, but every game it looks like Harden was more and more right when he says he's a 7-footer who can dunk.
That's
And that's
he's
kind
fast.
of the extent of his skill right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's a fast, athletic 7-footer that can dunk.
Yeah, and can spin.
Right, he spins all the time.
I mean, you could almost argue Pascal Siakam is more skilled. I mean, he at least can hit a mid-range jumper every once in a while.
He can hit a three as well.
Yeah, but Giannis, he gives it to you on defense.
Does he really give it to you on defense?
Did he really deserve decoy too? I mean, those are two questions you could ask.
No, he did not. He plays. He has the defensive stats, numbers. He has blocks. He has steals. But let's look at where his blocks and steals come from. It's not a one-on-one matchup. He's playing help side.
Yeah. I still am in the...
And he doesn't check the other team's best player. Like, he just won't. There's no way Jimmy Butler sees Giannis going off, going crazy, and Jimmy Butler doesn't say, I'm on him.
Right.
Here on out.
I mean, he did it.
He did
Game
it.
2, I think.
Yeah, game 2. Yeah, he did it. There's no way Kawhi or PG, like, I'm commending PG this entire series against the Nuggets. He's taking the challenge. I want that guy.
Right.
And I'm gonna shut him down. I'm gonna make his life miserable for however many games we got. That is what you're supposed to be thinking about when you hear about defensive player of the year. Not some guy waiting on you, you know what I'm saying, after you break somebody down, he's just waiting there at the basket to block your shot. You know what I'm saying?
I will say, though, if Marcus Smart never wins a Defensive Player of the Year award, it's rigged.
That's what I'm talking about. Marcus Smart, man. Ben Simmons had a great defensive year.
He did.
Like, before his injury, he had a great defensive year. I don't...
Normalize giving decoy to guards.
Yeah.
Honestly, they do the most work right now.
Yeah.
Gobert is 7 feet tall. Of course, he's going to average 3 blocks a game when he sits in the paint.
But he was actually, last year, you couldn't score on him. Like, people tried to score on him, Embiid, Jokic, those guys tried to score on him. You couldn't score on him. He had long arms. He was blocking shots. He made people's life miserable. And he was getting rebounds at a high clip. This stuff here is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, did you see LeBron the other night? 4 blocks. That's a defensive player of the year. That's a defensive player of the year.
A lot of chase downs. Let's calm down a little bit.
Hey, he looked harder in the eyes. You want to try me? LeBron. He's back, baby. Playoff Bron, baby.
We'll get to that a little bit later. But so we agree that the Bucks are not the way they're set up.
Fire Budenhauser. Get rid of him.
So they already have said that they think he's coming back for another year.
They're gonna lose again.
I agree. So let's say, other than the coach.
Also on top of that, not to cut you off, but also on top of that, he's only playing Giannis in the playoffs 35 minutes.
Yeah, he got so emotional there, getting choked up.
What star doesn't play 40+ minutes in the playoffs?
I can't name one.
That's what comes with the territory.
Lowry played 53 minutes last night.
That's what I'm saying, man. That is what I'm saying, man. This comes with the territory. If you want to wear the shirt or the crown of saying you're one of the best guys in the NBA.
Yeah. I do think he gets into a little bit too much trouble for... I think he babies Giannis a little bit too much.
Yes.
I didn't notice this, but I heard them say it on a broadcast. I think it was Game 4.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis scored a layup, and he pointed to the coach and said, "Take me out. I'm tired." First quarter.
Jesus Christ. Did you see what Rondo did the other night?
Why are we talking about the Lakers?
I'm just saying. Rondo, a veteran,
Yeah.
Checks himself into the game. Who are you, Vogel? You're going to sit down, and I'm going to run this thing. That's what we talking about, man.
And you had Vogel and Coach of the Year discussion, even though Rondo was calling the shots back there with LeBron.
Hey, man, listen. His defensive schemes are pretty good.
He's got a lot of good defensive players.
They are pretty good.
So, back to the Bucks. So, if they're bringing back Budenhauser, they don't really have anybody coming off the books. All they really can do is sit and wait for Giannis to either say, trade me, or just leave. Or maybe they get lucky and he resigns. So what in the short term can they do to win next year and convince Giannis to stay with Milwaukee?
Get ready to rebuild?
That's it?
Because he's leaving? He's gone.
There's no win-now pieces that you could see them making trades for.
Who?
I think a couple things might happen this offseason.
Let me hear him. Who really wants to go to Milwaukee, number one?
So first, I don't know how much this gets you, but shop Eric Bledsoe. I don't think he's getting you anything that's really going to push the needle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, but the biggest mistake they made, if they didn't let Brogdon go.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
If they didn't let Brogdon go, they would have been in a lot better position. But they traded him, sign and trade for Wesley Matthews. They thought they needed more vet presence.
Horrible.
It didn't work.
Horrible decision.
Matthews is still a solid defender, still a three-point shooter.
It's horrible.
But he doesn't fit with the Bucks.
No.
I don't know what you get from Bledsoe, like I said. You're not going to get any stars. And, George Hill isn't good enough to be a starting point guard, 82 games, plus playoffs.
No.
I don't know what teams would be interested in.
What are you going to do here?
They don't really have any good assets other than Middleton.
No.
And I don't think they're trading him.
Somebody got to go, man.
What team would you see Middleton fitting well with that could also give back something good? That could make the Bucks better than they were this year.
See, that's what I'm saying. So the Suns actually, if the Suns didn't have that performance that they did in the bubble, I would say maybe you could do Middleton for Booker.
You need to throw in a lot more there if you're
right.
Milwaukee.
Of course, you're gonna give up Middleton, Bledsoe, probably Lopez.
Yeah.
DiVincenzo. Like you're probably gonna give up a whole lot, but you will get Booker, who is a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But they shown that they can win with him and Ayton together. They're not going to let him go.
Yeah. But who else could use
There isn't a whole lot out
Middleton?
there. Right, there isn't a whole lot out there.
If the Thunder weren't going into rebuild mode, I think he fits well with them. I could see him and Shea being a good duo for the future. He's pretty young, but what do the Thunder... Chris Paul.
Not happening.
Is an asset.
Top 3.
A very good asset.
No one wants him.
That could fit well.
No one
with
wants
Milwaukee.
him.
I think a lot of teams were going to want him after his performance in the playoffs and regular season.
So, let's say you trade Chris Paul for Middleton.
Well, you're going to need to give up a little bit more. A lot more.
A lot more.
Middleton, DiVincenzo. It doesn't stop
there. Are you
there.
the Thunder? Like, do you really want that?
Well, would you rather have... Because Shea Gilgeous-Alexander needs to be able to grow.
Right.
Chris Paul, I think, if he doesn't want to be there, he's going to make it hard for Shea to grow because it's going to be a miserable situation.
Okay.
And after, we'll get to it a little bit later more in depth with the Thunder, or let's just cover it now. Billy Donovan out, and basically, read between the lines, Sam Presti said, we're going to rebuild. Billy Donovan said, I'm not here for a rebuild. All right, we'll say that we're going to leave then.
Okay.
So all the signs are pointing to rebuild mode, aka we're not signing back Gallinari.
Okay.
CP3 is probably gone.
Okay.
Adams is going to be shopped.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Schroeder as well. The only piece that I think we both know is definitely staying is Shea.
And Dort.
And probably Dort.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I think, is...
Because they have a ton of picks, though.
And they have 13 over the next 5 years.
Yeah, they got a ton of picks.
Everybody else, I think, is completely on for a trade. So
yeah.
Middleton is still young. He would fit if you keep Adams. That would be a great big three: Shea, Middleton, and Adams. Because Shea can't get it on his own quite yet.
Did Adams really? I'm sorry. I think his stock is dropping.
Yeah, he didn't play well in the Houston series, and the center is very devalued now.
Yeah, like what are you gonna get for him?
I don't know.
More picks?
I mean, at least it's I could see him fitting well. A team I would like to see him with, I could see him with Boston.
Okay.
But they.
What are you gonna give up for him?
I'm not willing to give anything up for him.
Exactly.
Because Tice fits this NBA better.
Listen,
and he can defend.
Absolutely.
I mean, Adams can defend, but if
if
Tice gets switched on to Lowry, I'm definitely thinking Lowry's in favor. Or like,
we're okay for at least 2 dribbles.
Yeah. The one thing about the Celtics game, getting back to that real quick, there were 2 straight possessions where guys just ran into Tice and they called a blocking foul off of a pick and roll.
Well, Nick Nurse is really working the officials.
Refs in 7.
Listen.
Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, he's really working them. He's working them. But I mean, that's part of the game, though.
I will say one more thing about Nick Nurse. If they make it to the finals, somehow win the finals, and let's say every series goes 7, that man is going to have the best physique out of anybody I've ever seen. He squats 48 minutes of every game.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's going to be in great shape. You're going to have to get leg day going again.
Nick Nurse makes I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that, sir.
That's wanting to stand this video. His knees.
Man, my knees are shot, man.
You couldn't handle Nick Nurse's job.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He puts it in the bucket, man.
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
He puts it in the bucket. I can't listen. Look.
Oh.
Not happening, brother. Not happening.
So what were we talking about? We were with the Bucks, Chris Paul, Thunder.
I don't think that. Maybe that's how you get Giannis to stay for a year. But again, Chris Paul got a $40 million price tag. You don't give up a whole lot to get him for 2 years. Yeah. And then if Giannis still leaves you, you're stuck with Chris Paul at 37 years old. I don't see it.
Yeah, and then maybe I think a lot of news media people have been getting into a little bit of trouble because they're not mentioning the other side of this enough, which is maybe the Bucks are still pretty good, but the Heat are legit top 5 team in the NBA.
I mean, I think I did.
But you also said they were going to be top 4 because they had James Johnson, which, I mean, you kind of look like a genius. But then you said James Johnson, so they cancel each other out a little bit.
Nah, maybe. I was relying on Spo and Jimmy.
You were relying on all-star starter, 35 points a game, James Johnson. 35, 10, and 10.
I'm not even going there with you.
4 threes a game, 10 steals.
No, I'm not going there with you. 2K player James Johnson. So, Heat are legit.
Yep.
Bucks are in trouble. Moving forward, period. Because I actually think he might go with the Warriors. I mean, that called me crazy. Where are we? West Coast now? Are we West Coast?
Well, let's give a little bit more credit to the Heat. So we don't know who they're going to face in the conference finals.
The Raptors.
All right, so you think the Raptors, I think Celtics. What % chance, if they face either team, because I know you think it's Raptors, who do you think they are hoping they face?
Probably the Raptors.
I would agree with that. And what % chance do you give them to move on to the finals?
If they see the Raptors, 60.
And the Celtics?
That's a tough series. I'd say 50, maybe 40, like they're on the bottom side.
And what chance do you give the Heat to win the championship?
None. Maybe 20%.
Okay, so you're not
because it's either going to be the Lakers or the Clippers coming out. They're horrible matchups for the Heat. It's all about matchups, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, either way, they're really bad matchups for the Heat because Jimmy Butler can only check one person.
Yeah. But Bam can check Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Harden's been. Anthony Davis has not been doing well with the smaller size. Right. He's just too passive.
Right, I agree with that.
And then,
but if we were to play the Heat Now you can throw both our bigs out there.
Yeah, but the one thing about the Heat, if that they would have in their favor if they played the Lakers, name a guy on their roster, and I'll tell you, they are not afraid to guard LeBron James or Anthony Davis.
I mean, they're going to take.
They will go into that series thinking that they will win.
Yeah.
And there's nobody on that team that would, or everybody on that team is going to take the challenge, guard whoever, play as hard as they can. Yeah. And they're so versatile, so many good defenders.
And then you will see the crown of LeBron James. And you will understand why he is the best player in the world.
All right, so moving on to the West Coast. We got the Lakers looking to go up 3-1 over the Rockets. And Daniel House, is still up in the air.
No, he's suspended for today.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, it's done. Games 3 and 4, he'll be suspended because he broke protocol.
Well, I was a little confused because for those of you that don't know what happened, allegedly he invited a female COVID-19 tester into his room.
Right.
But the question I have is, so one, you already suspend them with unless they're not revealing any conclusive evidence. Mm-hmm. Did he do it or not? Mm-hmm. If maybe they have it on video, we don't know.
Probably.
But I feel like we at least as fans, as media, have to have that confirmation that we're suspending him because we know he did something.
He did something.
Do we know that for sure?
Or
are we
appeal.
speculating?
See, this is what I'm saying. There's no appeal.
Okay, so
usually when there's no appeal, you're guilty. Just take it, bro.
And then my other question is, so does the COVID testers, all of them, do they stay in the hotels?
Now that's a good question.
If they do, then why would she not be allowed in this room?
Now that's a good question.
So it must be that she's not allowed there, but she must be tested, or she wouldn't even be allowed to go into the bubble.
Right.
I mean, I guess maybe if it was, I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't think
there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
I don't think the testers stay in the bubble. I think that they have access to the bubble for that time span.
But they've got to be tested every day.
Yeah, they are tested every day.
2 or 3 times a day. There's no way they're letting them come in contact with the players.
But I think they're tested before they enter the bubble. They do their testing, and then they leave.
Yeah, but
type of thing.
That was just a little confusing for me. Maybe there's more to it.
It probably is a whole lot to it. But
so my other question for you is,
does that tester also work at Magic City?
Oh, Lou Will? Is this a conspiracy? She's trying to take out all the Lakers opponents? So my other question was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much work is Adam Silver putting in to rig the finals in Lakers' favor?
Whoa, really?
Really?
None.
You don't think any?
No.
There's a lot of stuff going on here.
Such as?
Well, first we got Daniel House. I don't know if you've been watching the Lakers games, but they get a lot of whistles. A lot more whistles than a lot of other teams.
Matthew.
I mean, if the Rockets tie the series up, they might execute Order 66 on James Harden. We might never see him again.
Matthew.
If Rockets go up 3-2, Adam Silver might have this man kicked out of the bubble. We might have him kicked out of America. If the Rockets go up 3-2.
Matthew, let's really, think about what we're saying here. Okay. First of all, the Lakers are a better team. That's number 1.
Okay.
Lakers have a better coaching staff. That's number 2. Number 3, the top 3 players for the Lakers are better than the top 3 players for the Rockets.
Who's the third best player in your opinion for the Lakers?
So you have, it's historically been Kuzma. So you go LeBron, AD, Kuzma.
Harden, Westbrook, Eric Gordon.
Right. However, Westbrook has been our best player.
He's been pretty good for the Lakers.
Yeah. Minus last game.
If only he were the one that invited the COVID-19
into his we'd be in trouble.
We'd be
in trouble. They play so much better without him on the floor.
They do. A lot better.
Yeah. But he's on the floor a lot.
Yeah.
So he's our third best player. Yeah, LeBron, AD, and Westbrook.
I don't know. He might be second right there behind LeBron.
I agree.
So how many games do the Lakers take then? They're up 2-1. Are we going 5, 6, 7?
I think we'll go 5. If the Rockets win tonight, we might be in trouble.
Okay.
But if the Lakers win tonight, it's done.
Yeah. I would love to see Rockets-Clippers conference finals.
Why do you hate this man LeBron so much? Or the Lakers so much?
I hate the Lakers so much because
understand.
It's like the media loves them so much that I kind of have to.
They're the darlings of the NBA.
They shouldn't be.
Why not?
I don't know, but they shouldn't be.
It's
just
the Lakers,
annoying.
man.
Everything
when
Lakers.
You think about franchises in the NBA, it's the Lakers, man.
When the Spurs were dominant, Tim Duncan was never the next GOAT.
Stop.
I mean, the Lakers and LeBron get so much more media attention than any other team.
They have crowned this man, Tim Duncan, as the best power forward of all time. Well, you can't carry Karl Malone's jockstrap, man. Karl Malone is a dog.
Every time LeBron dunks, it's posted on Instagram with the caption, year 17, and he's still doing
Are
this.
his dunks not spectacular?
I mean, there are a lot of players in the NBA that can dunk. LeBron's not the only one.
His head is at the rim.
It just irritates me that the Lakers get so...
What's the real issue, man? What's the real issue?
I think...
Come on, talk to me.
The Score, Bleacher Report, all of those
what
ESPN...
Is the problem?
If I didn't have social media, maybe I'd like the Lakers a little bit more because they wouldn't get shoved down my throat every hour of the day. Because every time I open any sort of Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Lakers, LeBron, this is why he's the best player ever. Anthony Davis, this is why he's the second best player ever. That's everything.
Listen, man. If you look at historic greatness, historically great.
Okay.
We have, some people say Michael Jordan. Okay. Me personally, I say Kareem. Kareem's the best player.
Yeah, I know you think that.
Okay.
I really feel like I can't have a say in this.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay. So Michael Jordan or Kareem, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Then you have LeBron, who's also a Laker. Then you have Kobe, Shaq.
I'm not gonna say anything
Wilt,
about that one.
Magic. They're all Lakers, man.
I'm not gonna say anything about who you had number 4.
They're all Lakers.
I don't know if you can consider. I know I wasn't alive for this period. Magic and Larry are.
Larry.
They're close.
He's top 10.
I think you could make the argument. Definitely, he's better than Magic. I think you can make a win.
Are you serious right now? Are you serious? We're about to end this video. We're going to. Are you? People, please comment. Please comment. What?
Look, all I'm saying is...
Are you serious right now?
There's only one thing that Magic was better at than Larry.
Are you serious right now?
Passing. Larry's a better shooter, scorer, defender, rebounder. Magic was a better passer and more flashy. Can you argue with any of that?
Wow.
Can you argue with any of that, though?
You said Larry's a better defender?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
By far.
Are you serious?
By far. By far, Stretch. In my opinion.
Wow. Matthew.
I give Larry Bird the edge.
Over Magic? Magic is the greatest point guard of all time.
I think they're both in there around
all time.
6, between 6 and 8.
No. Magic is the greatest point guard of all time.
Okay.
Is Larry the best wing player of all time? No, he is not.
That's because we agree that LeBron is 1, 2, or 3.
There's no point guard above Magic. Not one.
Okay, so?
So how can...
Look, that's just my opinion. I think Larry Bird is a little bit better than Magic. I think they're both in there around 6, 7, 8 territory.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna say the other thing I was thinking.
Fans, let's just leave your responses below on Instagram or on YouTube. Let's have a moment of silence for Matthew, and let's also send your prayers in. Send your prayers in. Just we need the wisdom. We need the wisdom. This guy, said Larry Bird is better than Magic Johnson. There is no way. There's no. We also need to start drug testing in schools, and we know we're doing virtual learning. Okay, but we need to start drug testing in schools. Okay, because there's something in the mystery meat. There's something in the mystery meat to make people think these outlandish thoughts.
If you were a Celtics fan, you'd agree with me.
Absolutely.
Or if you were not a Lakers fan.
Absolutely not.
There's a little bit of bias in there.
Absolutely not.
A little bit of bias in there. I think we all sensed it.
Let's just, let's. I got Lakers tonight.
We'll move on, talk about that a little bit later.
I got Lakers tonight.
I will say this. This is about the Clippers, moving on to them. The one I figured out during the Mavericks season, series, that all season long, I've actually hated them, and I've only actually tried to make myself like them because I knew they were the best chance to beat the Lakers.
I understand.
And now at this point,
you want to root for the Lakers.
I almost want LeBron to shut up Patrick Beverly and Montrezl Harrell. But at the same point, I don't like
it's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So
the only guy on the Clippers I like, and I think anybody likes, honestly, is Kawhi. I don't
like Kawhi.
You don't? Why not?
I don't like Kawhi.
Kawhi is the funniest guy in the league.
I don't like him.
He and Clay.
I don't like him. I don't like his New Balances. I don't like his New Balance commercials. I don't like nothing about his... You don't like the one where he
taps the mic?
No.
The middle finger block?
No. Come on, man. Seriously, his middle finger is so strong.
Oh, if that were LeBron.
LeBron would have put his whole hand on
If that were LeBron, you would have been like, oh my gosh, LeBron is so good.
His whole hand would have blocked it.
Well, Kawhi was coming down, and his middle finger just extended like Space Jam.
Drug test him. Drug test him.
So, Clippers and Nuggets. Clippers went up 3-1.
It's done.
You know, this is going to sound weird.
It's done.
But Nikola Jokic and Kawhi Leonard have very similar, I won't say play styles because they attack the game very differently.
It's done.
But they're very similar players in that they're so methodical, they're patient, they'll go where they want, when they want. I think this is rise. I think the Clippers are going to win.
I have no words for this series.
Two players that are going up in stock this series.
Okay.
Kawhi. I know it's hard to go up in stock when you're either a first, second, or third best player in the league. And one of the best playoff performers in the league currently. And second, I think Joker, his stock is going up a lot in terms of top players in the league. I don't think he's top 5.
Are you sniffing the hand sanitizer?
Wait, what did I say that was wrong?
Kawhi is the what?
I said he is in consideration, not
consideration
for a first, second, or third best. I had him third. I think you had him fourth.
Yeah.
But you had him behind Giannis, so now you look stupid.
No. Giannis is still better than him.
Giannis.
Skill set wise.
Kawhi performs.
He just don't have no heart. He don't have no dog.
Kawhi performs every playoffs. You can.
He just had 2 horrible games back to back.
You can guarantee
wait a minute,
averages of between like.
Wait a minute.
He's gonna get his 30 and 11.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Kawhi just had a good game last night. Previous to that, he had 2 bad ones in a row.
And before that, every game has been good.
No.
If he didn't play like he played, I think the Mavericks might have come out of that series against the Clippers because he was the only one that was performing.
They beat up Luka.
They did. Yeah, that series did not.
Like seriously, they didn't deserve to beat them. They beat the man up every game. They literally put fist in his face, stepped on his ankle. Like that's what they did the whole series. They didn't
Luka.
They didn't beat Luka like skill wise, like I'm gonna match wits with you. No, they beat him up.
You need to call Child Protective Services.
Yes, man. And then Porzingis plays. The series is completely different.
Luka can barely drink, and these guys are harassing poor guys.
Man, this is crazy. I can't believe they got applauded for that stuff, man.
Yeah. That's not horrible. Toughness.
That was horrible.
The other thing that makes me so angry whenever I watch an NBA game is whenever anybody says whenever there's a foul, whenever there's a flagrant, whenever there's anything, the first thing any announcer says, especially, and it's not normally even the players, it's normally a coach or just a random broadcaster. Oh, if this were the 80s or the 90s.
Oh, yeah, that drives me up as a warm.
Because Mark Jackson never says it. He's a player.
Right.
I never hear, I'm trying to think of other players that do the game. Reggie Miller doesn't say anything like that. Weber doesn't say, well, Weber, I don't know what he says. I tuned him out.
Did they kick him off?
Yeah, I think Twitter went crazy and they were like, all right, Chris, you're out of here.
Did they send him out the bubble?
Because they got Reggie Miller and Kevin Harlan doing all the games now. So I'm happy about that. But
they sent Chris Webber out the bubble for Stan Van Gundy. His voice is annoying.
I love Stan Van Gundy, though, on the call.
Can we
agree, though?
Trash.
The best crew is obviously Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq.
Okay, post game.
But the best at doing games?
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy.
Absolutely.
Those are undefeated.
And then Harlan and Reggie.
Yeah, right next to them. Yeah. And then I liked Doris Burke and Mark Jackson calling games. They were pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're a good duo. But other than that, TNT, you need to step up your game, man.
Man, Chris Webber got booted out the bubble.
Yeah, it was a struggle. I had to mute some of those games. I know it was hard for you because the Lakers games was what he was doing.
Yo, he got all the Lakers. I didn't understand. Like, put him on the Clippers, bro. Like, what is going on?
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe the media doesn't love the Lakers if they put Chris Webber calling the games.
Oh, man, that was horrible. So, we got Lakers tonight.
Yep.
We got Clippers tomorrow, closing them out.
Oh, I have this series. I think Lakers, Rockets. I'm definitely picking the Lakers, or else Stretch might flip the table. I'll go Lakers in 6. I do think the Rockets show a little bit of fight. I won't count out James Harden. I know he's known as a bad playoff performer, but these playoffs he's been pretty good.
He's been really good.
And
this series,
as bad as Westbrook has been, as bad as he tends to be in the playoffs, he's still due for a Westbrook game where he just goes
He had it.
off.
He already had it.
I think he's got one more coming.
No.
I mean, you don't yell obscenities at the baby section and then come and lay an egg the next game. And that's what he's doing.
I mean, he went crazy down
I know, this poor baby.
He was going crazy.
I know, poor
He's
Brian.
screaming at wives and children. What is wrong with that guy? There was no. He's screaming at wives and children, man. What is wrong with him?
And then for the Clippers series, I have them winning in 5.
Yeah,
as good as Joker's been, and he's been great, he's the only one that's performing.
They need another player.
Yeah, and Michael Porter Jr. might be that player next year.
Right.
If he
He's not
improves
ready
on
right now.
defense.
He's not ready right now.
Do you think they should roll out, start Bobo just cause?
Yes. He's way better than Paul Millsap.
I don't know about that. Paul Millsap brings a veteran pedigree.
Oh, that's trash.
And
veteran
the
pedigree.
ability to guard.
Guard who? He's getting
He
exposed.
can guard more
out there.
players than Bobo. Bobo might be tall, but he's very lanky.
You play zone. Just zone him.
I will say I really like Jeremy Grant. He will fit with a contender.
He's getting crushed out there by Kawhi.
Well, I mean, everybody. There's
No,
not a lot of
everybody-
players
no,
that can
everybody
guard
does
Kawhi.
not.
There's not a whole lot of players that can guard Kawhi, though.
You know what? It would just make your day if Kawhi played for the Celtics, wouldn't it?
Well, it's not that I love Kawhi, like he's my favorite player, but I just respect his game. He's a great player.
Oh my God.
When he gets to the shots he wants, he does not miss a lot, and he can get the shots he wants a lot.
You know who else gets a shot he wants a lot?
Who?
LeBron. You don't say that about LeBron.
They're different skill set. Different skill set.
How? They play the same position.
Okay. Brooke Lopez and Steven Adams play the same position. Do they have the same skill set?
They could if Steven
I don't
Adams
see
worked
Steven
on his
Adams
game.
shooting threes.
I mean, they were very similar at one point in time. And Brooke Lopez decided to work on his game. Steven Adams decided to go hit the weight room.
Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman. Go
Decided to
film
go on the
movies.
farm.
Yeah, trash.
All right, so we'll call it there before anything else crazy gets said.
There we go, my man.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully next time you guys see us, we'll be at 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
Keep liking, keep sharing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, debate mates.
Do not forget to comment how obscene his comments are. That was ridiculous. Debate mates out, man.
Debate mates.
That was, come on, man.